Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the OCVarsity Football Wrap-Up Show. It is week 7 or 8, Dan?
Week 7.
Okay, good enough. Some great games tonight. I was over at Mater Dei, St. John Bosco, number 1 and 2 in the state, both nationally ranked. Mater Dei wins this game 31-21. They scored 20 points in the first half and only got a field goal in the second half. That was the only scoring in the second half, but that first half was just amazing. Armand Ross, St. Brown was terrific. Couple great touchdown catches, big leaping things. Daniels was really good, especially in the first half. And St. Brown also returned a punt, 51 yards for a touchdown. He caught it like at about the 45, kind of looped backwards and just found a hole and just went. It was just pretty spectacular.
2 years in a row, he's returned a punt again for a touchdown against Bosco.
I'll get the editor to add that to my story. Thanks. But anyway, it was a pretty good game. Big crowd. It was a lot of fun to be there, and that puts Mater Dei at 2-0. You and J. Sarah Orange Lutheran. J. Sarah 2-0. They play Mater Dei next week.
Next week at the Bowl. J. Sarah surprised me. 52-21 beat Orange Lutheran. This is the fourth.
Now you're surprised by the margin.
The margin by 31 points. That surprises me.
Right.
Matt Robinson threw 3 TDs, rushed for a touchdown, and the J. Sarah defense, led by Abdul Malik McLean, forced 4 turnovers. They intercepted Holinsky twice. They sacked him 6 times. Abdul Malik McLean, UCLA commit, he's at the very top of my defensive players.
I saw that. I saw that when I was following you on Twitter.
I know at your game, Solomon, the linebacker, excellent linebacker for Mater Dei, had 3 sacks as well.
Yeah, Truly Apupu. Yeah, he was great.
So there's another candidate, but J. Sarah, I think it was a statement game for J. Sarah.
Yeah.
That they believe that they're serious contenders. They're confident going into that game. Tariq Luckett was a really good-looking junior in this game. I was really glad to see Kyle Ford's legit. He's a strong kid.
Yes.
At receiver. He had no drops. Holinsky, like any quarterback, he was under siege and he took some hits. And
that's because they had to play catch-up football, man.
Yeah, and
so
he had to throw it. But J. Sarah, they cut down on their penalties, and they did this all without Munar McLean too. So J. Sarah, I think, is going to play well next week.
Margarita beat Servite 51-28.
Yeah.
Good game for Josiah Norwood, the quarterback. 115
and we've been I've been talking a little bit on my Trinity League football podcast. Josiah Norwood has shown he is a legit player coming in from Troy, and I've been so impressed. He's played so well against these big schools. And big props for Josiah taking that big chance in senior year to go to Santa Margarita. He's played well against Mission.
Yeah, I was wondering about that transition too. I was going to go.
He's played well against Servite. Big props to you, Josiah.
One of the all-time great rivalries from long ago was pretty good again. Capistrano Valley 26-14 over El Toro. That was a good game, and he had a really good game.
El Toro, I believe, was up 14-0 at halftime. But El Toro finishes with 14 points. Steve Fryer, what is the most points Capital Valley's defense has allowed all year?
Was it the 14 El Toro
14 tonight. So that's why they have such a great defense.
Yeah.
So you got to give props out to the defensive coordinator, Dave Reese, he's quite a character. He does a great job. I wrote about their defense last year. So I went to their practice this week, Fryer. Guess what Dave Reese was wearing at practice?
A Dan Albano t-shirt?
He was wearing a weight jacket, it looked like a SWAT, a military SWAT type weight jacket with weights inside, 40 pounds of weights, and he was going around the football field, trying to inspire and show these guys it's time to get to work.
Maybe we should wear.
We should do that
next week.
Dave Reese, good job.
All right, we have some surprises I want to get to. Make sure we don't forget about these darn things. Last night, El Dorado beat Canyon. El Dorado's also beaten Valencia. Canyon the previous week beat El Medina. Now El Dorado beats Canyon last Thursday. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, now over in the Empire League. Yeah. Help me follow this, man. Okay, Cyprus loses to Valencia.
Right.
And then they beat Pacifica. Yeah. What the heck is going on, man?
One of the biggest upsets of the year, in my opinion. I text Coach Feldman tonight. I said, "How did you beat Pacifica?" And he said, "Luck."
But then, also had Ashcraft throw 6 touchdown passes.
But then he also had this super sophomore, Isaac Hurtado. 30 carries, 214 yards. Oh my goodness. I mean, now Tustin and Valencia 2-0 in the Empire League.
We love that Golden West League because we knew coming into the season was going to be unpredictable as heck. Yeah, Orange undefeated coming into this game, lose to Westminster 35-29, and then Oceanview kind of got crushed by Santa Ana 51-6.
Kinda.
Yikes.
Yeah, you know, Noah Melbon.
QB.
Threw 3 touchdown passes, over 200 yards, 18 of 25. But it was Christian Jaime, kind of one of their. They have a staple of backs, but went 27 carries for 180. Also had a lot of receiving yards. So that was a big one for Westminster, who's a very good team. I saw them against Cotulla this year. That puts them at 1-1, and now 2-0 at the top of that Golden West League is Segerstrom and Santa Ana Saints that are playing, both 2-0. So Westminster and Orange now 1-1.
South Coast League, Mishviejo beat San Juan Hills as expected, 35-7, and San Clemente 30-14 over Tesoro. Maybe a little more one side. And I thought Austin Whitsitt, the running back, had 142 rushing yards. He's a really good player.
He is.
Maybe somebody got to think about it when all counts.
There's a lot of good backs out there. He's a guy you can't forget. And you start thinking about Al Fisher at J. Sarah. You think about Chad Magyar at Santa Margarita, and then you have to think about Austin as well. And then of course KC Carr. I mean, we could go Alex Junn. Speaking of Alex Junn, Freeway League, huh? How about the big victory tonight by Fullerton, 41-14?
Yeah.
I checked in with Gus Martinez, co-coach of the Indians. How did you guys? What happened? How did you guys really handle Sunny Hills, which had only had 1 loss coming into it? And he said they played, a really good game. Jung went for about 130, but Gus said that the Lancers had to kind of scrap their offense, went back to the wing T, put Alex Jung at quarterback. So he said Anthony Aon did a great job at linebacker for the Indians. That's a big one. Now they're 2-0. La Habra's 2-0. Guess when those guys hook up? La Habra and Fullerton.
The final game of the season.
Week 10. So that could be, that could be pretty interesting there in the Freeway League.
Well, we had a lot of upsets, a lot of crazy stuff. Some things, we kind of figured were going to happen, but man, there were some upsets that were going. You got one more.
One more. This was another one that got me. Sunset League. Because after Edison and Los Al, it's another level, notch below. But it's very competitive and it's well-spirited competition.
This score proves
Huntington Beach 21-14 over Fountain Valley. Fountain Valley had a really nice record coming in. I think they only
5-1.
1 loss. Yeah. And then the previous week, the Oilers, they got a young team. They lost 63-0 to Edison, and they come back and they win. And playing for in playoff contention there. For the Oilers.
Good, yeah.
Young resilient.
Well, if you look, you can see the playoffs from here. We still got some more regular season football to go. We had a great time covering games tonight. Thanks again for hanging out with us here at OCVarsity for the football wrap-up show. We'll see you next time.